This is my plan. Bernie likes to show up late, which is brilliant. It's actually built. I call it the brilliant Bernie strategy. No, it's because it actually helps the stream. I do the opposite. I like to show up early.
I beg to differ.
I don't know if it helps at all.
If anybody is in your live chat, if you started this, they can confirm
That's true. This is technically still late because this is the second start time.
Yeah, you're 27 minutes late for this one.
Well, Wizard's never late, Brittany.
That's true. Oh, we must have heard it.
This is the good part. So Atlantis is in Florida. They say it's in the sea under Key West.
I always thought when they said Atlantis.
I'm still trying to get the full screen here.
Tartaria is everywhere.
There we go.
The Star Force are all over the world.
Dude, I did doggy.
They say Tartaria is everywhere. Yeah, that's right. It is. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if that'll work. No, it needs to, there needs to be a light behind me.
Yeah.
Sorry, my main computer is crapping out, so
I'll have to test it out later with some lights.
Until it finally stops buffering and I can join. My apologies.
No, it's cool. This is an anarcho-punk Dogma 95 thesis style podcast. We're using all found footage from our actual locations.
Here's a continuation that could fit with the Vapor Road aesthetic.
So this isn't happening now. This happened a while ago and you compiled it?
What, this song? Oh, I made it like 30 minutes ago.
No, I meant the meetup. I must have missed that.
Oh, yeah, no. Earlier today, Bernie wanted to do this.
Oh, yeah. These, though, I wish everybody could see what it looks like through these. Even out here. Oh, I betcha I could figure that out.
What was your view on the greatest of that smooth Trump thing? Him going up to the black journalist, Jen.
Oh, God, yeah, that was great.
Let's see. Can I get to the light? There we go.
I like the filter.
Dang it. There we go.
With those a lot recently.
Not doing it justice. I quit. These are really cool when you look at lights, though.
I feel like Stan in South Park, where he tells his kids he's Lord. You know, like I am Lord.
Okay, when I get my little.
Trying to get all the water.
What are those called?
What are what called?
Those
the
instruments that
shakers?
go. No, the.
We spent like all day trying to think of the names of all kinds of those noise.
No, that I just want a little background with a just for that part, just so I can add. It doesn't need anything. I like it. It's beautiful. But
Dude, it sounds like Grimes. Yeah, it kind of does sound like Grimes, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it?
It could be. Maybe it is.
Could
her.
be Grimes. Could be Grimes. It could be Grimes. I have like about as much facial hair as Grimes. Actually, not right now, but.
Grimes has facial hair?
Yeah.
Grimes, like, isn't that Elon Musk?
Baby mama? Baby mama. One of. Can it though?
I wish I had, like, strobe lights out here, though. So, like, at least, you know, dance lights.
No, they say a lot of things. Don't they? They say a lot of things.
I do have maracas, but that's not the sound I want. I want the.
Actually, you know what? The maraca's the underrated. He's a dark horse of this song.
You want? I
hear that.
There are maracas, I think, nearby you. In your vicinity.
Yeah, almost always are.
And one of those foot tambourines, too. So you can just, like, tap it.
Yeah, you don't use that enough. You don't use your foot tambourine nearly enough for it.
It was dangerous. When I was driving,
I always
it
figured
was really
that'd be
cool
like
to have when you're driving, but then you're like, I was like, I thought that's what it was for, but I think it's just for like sitting, not like specifically.
No, it's because if you don't drive a stick shift, then you don't have.
I know
the
you don't
clutch
have
pedal,
you have
you
an
got your
idle
left
foot. You got your
Yeah.
idle foot, and that's dangerous. So that it's usually tapping anyway. All right, are you gonna start the
How
show
you guys
now,
doing?
or is there an
I
introduction?
don't know. I mean, Bernie's not here yet.
There's no real science song, like real science.
There might be if Bernie shows up. I don't know. I guess I could
He's
work
here.
on that for a second. Is he?
He's here.
He had to restart. restarting his
Bernie,
computer.
Bert plus Ernie.
He's going through
It's
a
the
lot
first
right
time I
now.
saw that. I've
Mm.
never actually looked at it that closely. Bernie. Like
Bernie
that's what I
Simo.
get it. Bert plus Ernie.
There he is. There he is.
Bernie, there he is.
Wait,
You
Oh,
just
just for a
peekaboo.
second.
now, Bernie?
I ju-
Oh my!
I just got it. No.
Oh, well,
Bernie.
that's why it took a minute for my computer to load.
I just always thought Bert and Ernie. I never like looked closely at that. You had the little Bert plus Ernie is the Bernie. Like,
Right?
man,
Just all adds up now.
it does. It makes sense. Everything makes sense.
So, my apologies. I spent like 3 hours since we talked last, just like loading photos and references,
good.
and then
So you've done
I
something. That's
loaded
good.
too many, and it crashed my computer. That's
Oh
my
no!
I had to close my channel stream,
Well,
and now it's working, I think. So.
Let me say, you're looking sharp, Bernie. I haven't seen you in a while, and I never see. I always watch on my phone, so it's like from far away. So lovely
Gotten some
panel
fun.
tonight that you have set up, Andreas. Thank you for.
Been
Or Bernie,
working,
thank you. I think Bernie's hosting. I don't even know.
It's a
Someone's
loose.
hosting, and I'm
it's
just
a-
here to learn.
It's a loosely like I think it's an anarcho-hosted kind of vibe tonight.
All right, and that was the introduction. There is no actual.
We
like-
could. You guys, did you want to play like a video?
You didn't
I
make a
don't know.
special one for this group, then I don't.
You guys
think
have like a
probably
request?
don't need
I
one.
mean, we've got
you
so
could have
many.
made something
I
for
think
us.
we're okay.
Yeah.
I like the vibe. It's the vibe. You know?
Right?
Yeah.
It's chill vibe. Well, I don't know how chill it is. Bernie's been dealing with sounds like a system overload there. Too much input.
I think I've got it under control. Let's see if they'll let me actually load the other photo. Come on. It's like I had it all organized, a neat presentation, and then I try logging into StreamYard and it all crashes every time. Oh well.
I don't
That's
think neat presentations aren't really the forte anyway, so just
Trying. One day, hopefully.
we're good for go.
All right. So,
Or dance party. I mean, I got the dance vibe too. It's like
what the
I
heck?
think people can.
Why didn't that load? Oh,
Yep.
I see what I did wrong. Okay, window. Here we go.
Zoom deep.
Yay.
Okay, so this is the main Badland Guardian, right? Is this guy right here with the main face, but then there's a secondary face here, a third Olmec looking face here, a potential other face there, potential other face there, and then up top here, the other main Aztec warrior with the dragon headdress right there, and another potential figure right there. And most people only know about this guy, and these are the ones that Arthur Ferrum found the geoglyphs with, and there's actually
No way.
many more. There's also these guys, the big-headed, what looks like the Easter Island Birdman, and then on the other side, facing the other way, what looks like a Moai New Zealand or Hawaiian style statue or face. And they're over here just to the right of this guy. And there's a whole other set of guardians to the valley just above this site. I was hoping to bring up Google Maps or Earth or whatever, but there's no way my computer is going to be able to handle that today unless
Try that, Andreas.
try.
Okay, so yeah, are these undoctored? You got these straight off of Google Earth or what? Andreas, can
This
you
is
get on
someone
Google
else's.
Earth and find these or not? Like
Send
Yeah,
me,
I can give you the,
what are the coordinates there?
Yeah.
That has to be doctored. Like really, it's that. I mean,
no, they're not
that's nuts.
doctored at all.
Well, I mean, if we can go to Google Earth and see them, then that would obviously show that, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
Done it a couple times before.
Wow.
But it's
Gotcha. Okay.
There's a second set of even more faces of these guys just to the north in the next hill set over.
Wow.
Let's see if I can find.
How do they
the
think they were done then? Is this like with big lasers and stuff, or from airships or like what?
They're probably a lot of Earth. Here we
Like-
go. Earth and moving, terraforming, construction.
And
I'm
how
actually.
big? My gosh, that's got to be giant. I don't know how
So
zoom
this
that
guy's
was.
face is about, I believe, 300 meters across. You're able to get the coordinates there, Andreas, from this? Well, we'll measure it as soon as they're just
Yeah,
pulls it up.
that's why I'm wondering like how big, like
He
trying
pulls
to
it up.
One fact-
fathom how they would do it, how it would happen.
right,
Let's
and
see.
so I'm in the process of working out a schedule with Randall Carlson. I talked to him the other day about this, and I was like, yeah, no, there's 10 faces, not one. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'll show you. And planning on showing him all the evidence I've gotten collected of this site.
Yeah. Okay. So
this
hold
is
on.
random.
There, that's zoomed. Okay. Yeah. Was that actual Google Earth or what was that?
Yeah, all of those images were from Google Earth, I believe, at different times.
In real time, they haven't like tried to block it or
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, so here's another one.
Hmm.
And it's like I've gone through and I've gotten different images from Google Earth of different seasons.
Wow.
And no matter the season, you can still see the complete face there.
Where is this now?
Just in southern Alberta. Oh, yeah, look at him right there. Big head.
Wow.
Face.
Yeah. So have you looked in other places in the world for any other types of giant like symbols like this then that are?
Oh, yes. They're all connected. It has
Okay.
to do with
is
Arthur
new to me.
Pham's geoglyphology. And
Okay.
there's a bunch. So right here are the different geoglyph sites that Arthur Pham found. And they're earthenworks that are at specific angles and lengths, and that he then plots them out on the map. And they happen to connect to all of the other ancient sites in the world. Sorry.
Interesting. And it's all from overview and from a distance of a certain distance that you have to see it from, or like once you get too close, you definitely wouldn't be able to see it, I would think.
Yeah, I think he uses the Google Earth or maps to measure to measure them out. And so it's like my goal this summer here in the next month is to go back down there to actually get onto the land to find the earthenworks, the geoglyphs, and actually document them. So here,
Can you drone above them legally for like, or not?
it's private land. So last year when I went down, I wasn't allowed up. So this is Arthur Pham's website here, and how he explains how he found these, and that he found this site by other geoglyph sites, including the Nazca Peru lines that he decoded and mapped out, and that they plotted to this site, which then brought him to look at it and find the faces. And from these, so it's down here, the geoglyph sites, and that finally at the image. So right here you can see these lines, and that this is just from Google Earth that he found the lines, measured them, and then plotted them out to confirm that they actually go to all these other sites, including Mexico City, tip of Baja California, Grand Canyon, Hawaiian Islands. The second geoglyph site here.
Can you go back?
with the-
How many did you map out? Sorry, how many different?
So on that one, there's 7.
Okay.
On the geoglyph number 2, there is.
So there's yet to be
another
mapped.
8. So there's 15. Geoglyph site number 3 or 4. There is another 9. So that's like 24 so far.
Wonder
So
how many. there are.
31 out of the 5 geoglyph sites there. And so he got these geoglyphs. That's right above this guy, just south of it. This being on the head of the main figure there. This being off the tip of the Aztec guy. And so off of this site here, right there, and right there was where they found him. And then also up here. And that I was able to drive up last year and explore this guy and this guy. And he's never gone east of this site to the other faces, like the Easter Island one and what looked like the Hawaiian one. There could be more geoglyphs over there, as well as the faces that are additional faces that are in the north
Okay.
valley above it. So there could
What-
be a lot more of it.
Is this like forestry or is this straight up like rock hills?
so it's-
What's all the material?
It is Badlands, and
What is that?
let me show you. It's
What
actually quite.
indicates a bad land. Like, what's the qualifier to be
Okay,
a
Badlands.
bad
Actually
lands?
know what this means.
Yeah.
It's when the soil is so poor that it often erodes in very hilly areas. So there'll be a giant. Usually, it's in a area like Montana or in Spain, where there used to be glaciers, or there'll be a giant flood that erodes massive parts of the soil, and it leaves hills where you can see, different colored soil. So it'd be a badland. So you'll see like multifaceted painted hills, but they're usually in areas where there is bad soil, or it's very rough desert-like, and that you'll just see these very large carvings out there. So it's kind of Martian, but it's not really.
So it's technically termed bad land, so nobody wants it, but there happens to be some of these bad lands have these crazy carvings in them that are standing up.
It's
Okay.
it's usually from
Interesting.
flooding. So you get it in America. You get it in the if I remember correctly, not the Montana Badlands.
So this is like
No.
Badlands. So
Yeah,
these
they
are
look-
the
they look
Badlands.
pretty bad.
area.
Yeah, they look pretty
I
bad.
used actually some
Yeah.
AI on that. There's Badlands in Spain. That's in the northern desert part where they used to do spaghetti westerns,
Okay.
like the
Interesting.
Spanish version of spaghetti westerns.
Uh-huh.
But the Badlands, but usually what you see is like these big, not plateaus, but just like these ridge mountains where there's just, it looks like there's tree roots, but it's all soil.
Right, and the mounds aspect of it, just like these are all mounds and they have the anomalous giant balls. So the faces are, they are northeast of Medicine Hat, Alberta, and then this Badlands, Red Rock Coulee, is on the southwest side of Medicine Hat, Alberta, which is about 200 miles from where I'm located in Calgary, Alberta. I
Okay.
took these photos last year. And what it seems like is that anything they've labeled Badlands also is like ruins of actual mounds, pyramids, civilization. And throughout Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Colorado.
Ruined, mud-flooded land. But it was
Yeah, and-
probably used for something before. It wasn't just like nothing,
But
and then it flooded and eroded.
It's also though that it is desert and desolate now, but it seems like it's buried with former what could be terraces, mounds, and anomalies, right?
Yeah, so if the Badlands are definitely, if there's a pattern, forming with where they're located, then should be probably linked to some type of cataclysm that's connected to causing the Badlands, maybe? No?
Exactly, you're bang on with that. And what I suspect is that it was probably the giant tsunamis of when there was the massive flood, and that it's salt deposits left over, salt leaching from the ocean water that makes it really hard for plants and fauna to grow in today.
Right, except for some of these like iron-rich, like extremophiles that have adapted that are just like barely on the surface here, right? Yeah, this is exactly over the Western Sea interior.
So I want to see an overview of. So that guy's mapped out. You said 24. I want to see them all in the same
It's
map.
cool because it kind of looks like parts of Bolivia. Like it looks
For
so
me,
alien.
I need to see that.
I
want to
go
see if
back
there's
to
a
it,
link
and
to
you will
anything
see-
with. Okay,
Oh, you'll
thanks.
see the territory. Don't
Right.
you
Or
worry.
volcanic links, power.
So yes,
Ancient
I'm showing this
buildings.
Badlands, quite anomalous site. What looks like several mounds here, and it's on the opposite side of the city of the Medicine Hat Badland faces. And this now is the Badland Hills of the Medicine Hat faces that I was just showing. And right here, you can see these pictures I've taken. There's parallel terraces covering from top to bottom along all of the hill faces, making up the giant faces from above. And when I talked to the rancher, he thought I was crazy. He's like, we never did that. This is just random land. And I'm like, no, these are ancient sites that are previously constructed. Here's another good image of showing these terraces left over. And so it's like, just like in Peru, just like South Africa, just like Yemen, just like China, Asia, everywhere has these ancient terraces. Some places like China, Vietnam, they still use them. And then, well, in North America, they're all in these Badland ruins.
And what's the narrative? That they're just randomly forming
Yes,
due
this
to
is called pareidolia.
erosion or...
Yes, that this is somehow natural pareidolia, and that there's over 10 to 12 faces of these ancient Mayans, Aztecs, Easter Island, Hawaii.
I feel like so many hills are this.
Of them, though.
I feel like so many hills are this kind of thing. It's so bad when you start looking. But yeah, this is like when something's that patterned, it's hard unless science can say, we had rain every 5 days, and those formed every 5 days when we had that period for 1,000 years.
And that's
you know
the
what I mean?
thing. These are Badlands, which are deserts and desolate now. Thus, how are you explaining this wind erosion stuff? And so here you can see a natural animal path trail, and that's clearly not animal grazing making up these terraces. And this is what I'm going to be getting Randall Carlson's opinion on. And, he's like the utmost authority on geology and ancient pre-cataclysm ruins, and will be able to for sure confirm or deny, right?
When is he coming on your show?
Well, I just made contact with him the other day, so I've got to send the email, bait him in, and it'll probably be a month or so.
That's awesome.
Well, if he's legitimate, I would first go talk about or like look for like certain things like you see in English countryside, where you definitely have the Moat Bailey, but there's also the Hill Fortress that kind of comes before that. So like in Britain, they would typically sometimes over 500 years intermittently, they would constantly build up these fortresses, battle fortresses. So you look up hill fortresses in England. Usually the stone is taken out of them, but you can definitely see there's still remnants of like the big basement type apparatuses within the hills.
So
Like
that
old hill fortresses, that's cool too.
That I will be showing some other sites around this area that exhibit a lot of evidence of what you're just saying there, Aiden. And like as you can see here, it's like there's parallel terraces literally on every angle and every slope from top to bottom of these sites that make up these ancient faces. So it's like I find it pretty hard to believe that this just all somehow happened naturally.
They just mow it that way,
right?
Whoever's
Yeah.
mowing the lawn, landscaper.
Yeah, I
Just go
talked
across this way and up there. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Talked to the ranch owners, and like I said, they thought I was insane because they're like, we've never driven on that before or constructed it. Like, it is barren ranch lands that we let the cows graze.
The cows did it.
All right, well, it's like, how did they do it at this one spot and then nowhere else? Although, well, there's a few other sites, but they're also very, very suspect.
Cool. And you're gonna do your own like boots on the ground.
Yeah, well, I was already down there last year. I took all of these photos.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It was very smoky from forest fires, thus the haziness, low res. But all right.
Are any of the fires linked to any of those locations, either in the Badlands that you have?
Thankfully not so far, and the owner was very concerned about fires, so I got a time going there and planning it.
I love that guy. You ever think about how he kind of looks like the Baby Yoda?
Which one? This guy?
The Olmec guy. No, the top.
This guy.
Further up. The Olmec guy at the top.
This guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the weird afro, not really.
Right?
I love that guy. He looks like he ate so many avocados.
He does.
I can
He's a
relate.
Happy avocado head.
I've eaten that many avocados.
And it makes that face.
Isn't his name's Olga? That's a female's name here.
All of these radios, where all they're plotting out to.
He's an Olmec.
To
Olmec were the tribe.
Yeah, Olmec.
Oh, I thought his name was Olga.
Here,
I don't know his name.
Is what they plot out to answer your question, Brittany.
Ooh.
This is the territory and all of the different sites that those geoglyphs of the Badland faces plot out to, and it's making a territory that stops by like Mexico City there, goes through the Canary, the Azores, goes through Libya, Tripoli, goes through Luxor, Egypt, and Giza, goes through the Bosnian pyramids, goes through several important sites in Europe, Greenland, and Hawaii over here. And it's like, how does it get these?
So anything in the central location there, the midpoint of that kind of, or no, halvesies, it's all on just a perimeter, like this eyeball.
Exactly, it seems to be this perimeter. And I can show here some of the other geoglyph sites that Arthur Ferrum have plotted out and the territories they did. I'll go quickly over to the Bosnia.
Is there anything in Alaska that you showed? No.
I think there was one spot there.
Okay, sorry.
But I've already switched on, so I'm
That's
sorry.
fine. No, keep going. I'm sorry. I'm good.
So Bosnian pyramid geoglyphs, and this is what's really crazy, is that Arthur Ferrum found that the angles of the faces of and sides of the pyramids plot out to the specific sites. So it's like that's one of the purposes of certain
of just having a giant pyramid to point to everywhere else where to go.
Well, this was from the original pyramid builders of the very, very big ones. And then I'll show you here that, so this was the original build. This is when you add the four corners on, and it's giving you other exact borders, including the southern border of Russia even today. And
does Aiden know about the Bosnian pyramid thing? Andreas went there. Like, have you heard about the giant pyramid there? That's
I know
or whatever. I don't know
about
sure.
I would actually add something about that area is I don't know if it's exactly in Bosnia or North Bosnia, but around the area of about 600 miles north, I guess, kind of in the Carpathian Mountain region, the most, that's a huge Sasquatch area. Like, 600, more closer to the Upper Carpathian area, the Carpathian Alps. No one lives there.
Maybe they built the pyramids. Sasquatch, no? Has I never made that theory?
So
they're definitely involved with the UFO thing, but
it could be.
They are directly involved with that. We know that.
Oh,
we can just say that. We're not exactly sure what from that, though.
So, with his geoglyphs, he found this was the original ones from the sides of the pyramids and their corners, and from finding the border marker with original or modern day Russia all the way into the sides of the ancient Bosnian pyramids. Then he took a look at Old City Moscow, and he found out from the central points of the old cities, these crazy arm rays actually are ancient geoglyphs and mapped into more modern times. Makes sense. That right here, the Moscow geoglyphs actually plot out completely to the territory of modern day Russia, which is quite mind-blowing. So then on top of that, stage 3, built on top of the Bosnian pyramids, are these new bastion forts, quote unquote star forts, and that they're much more recent, and that so that's the center of the star fort, that they also are these radial geoglyphs, and they plot out and add new, more modern areas.
Star forts on top of pyramids.
Right. So it's like, so there's one of the bastion forts on top of each of the 3 main pyramids, adding all of these extra new sites and territories to it, proving that they're still using this today. And boom, look at that. The territory plotted out from the new and old Bosnian pyramid geoglyphs equals pretty much exactly what the EU is today, plus including Ukraine, which they are currently fighting for, which I found absolutely fascinating. So this is one of the ancient border markers that's built into the pyramid itself.
No.
And then if that wasn't enough, take it to Yanagouni, which also did, and the Yanagouni underwater pyramid, why they have all of those strange angles, specific carvings into it. Well, he found out those are also geoglyphs. So each of these like angles and side faces, he plots out. So there's the overtop topographical map sort of thing of it. Then he plots out the angles on all of the different cuts of the Yanagouni structure and finds all of these specific spots, including west side of Korea, Attu Islands, Alaska, Hawaiian Islands, Papua New Guinea, Sumatra. And sure enough, here's the territory plotted out from the Yanagouni structure, the pyramid 400 feet underwater, hitting all of these crucial geographic spots and territories. And it just happens to be the exact same size territory that Japan held at the height of World War II before getting crushed. And that they were literally trying to attack and take over that exact specific area.
Okay. Has 13th Monkey done any of the star fort verification either on like pyramids? You should maybe give him some of these. Like, do all of these have star forts like nearby or on top of pyramids now? Because those were being mapped separately from star forts at one point, but now if there's like the star fort pyramids, is he aware of that? I don't even know. I
don't think I've actually exposed him to that yet, and I need to.
Andreas, somebody, 13th Monkey, if you're watching.
Right? Exactly.
Mike. Fun, a new color.
Unless you love.
He's probably already
13th
done.
Monkey.
No, I'm definitely gonna message.
Clip this scene and send him the clip.
That's nuts.
Absolutely right. How many? 35 minutes in, we're clipping, sending the 13th Monkey. So
Phone a
here's
friend. No, I'm just kidding.
and
You might-
so there, but to answer your question, like the Giza pyramids in the Giza Plateau of Egypt, he found a bastion fort right next to it with more modern geoglyphs built into it, just like you were asking, and that the old cities, which are actually like new relative to the pyramid culture, they're like 300 to 500 years old. Any of the cities that were built during the time of Star Fort Citadel cities also have all of those radials built into the territories coming from that center square. And here he's showing the Nazca lines also are these same geoglyphs, and that's the purpose of them. And one of the Nazca star or Nazca geoglyphs, so the bird, the hummingbird, so that's one geoglyph, more geoglyphs out, and sure enough, they plot out to specific spots like Faroe Islands, Hawaii, etc., New Zealand, Fiji, and throughout Polynesia, Micronesia. And again, the ancient Japanese territory plotted out. Here's another one of the Japanese keyhole-like glyphs. I guess he's also deciphered as these radial geoglyph bearings, and plot out to all of those sites. Which definitely this needs to be peer-reviewed. We need people to actually like go and verify this stuff, because if true, absolutely, rewrites history, both super ancient and relatively recent. And both the Nazca Star as well as the Yonaguni, or the Japanese keyhole there, going to these same islands. So it's like one territory ending, the other territory starting, and why those islands were probably major trade hubs over the years throughout history.
Well,
And right.
definitely, I'm like trying to. I'm all over Google Earth now. I'm like looking up different things. I want to go search the tops of all these pyramids that I have, but I'm gonna set my phone aside because that's something really that's interesting and something else to start looking for. Honestly,
Right.
to help further the research, if this is kind of like a newly mapped finding of old world stuff. But why the just like like they're like doing art for their ruler of the area at the time, like that was their leader. That's who you
It
think
seems
they're
pretty
modeling it
weird.
after. Like to carve that into the earth, I just don't know. Would it be for giants having a large
someone that
canvas?
could see from above, right? That
Well, yeah, that makes the airship stuff, like when they used to have those like more air travel stuff that they've concealed, and maybe there was more air travel if we had some type of. Now, as you look over here, you will see the prince of wherever, Alberta.
Like why else would they have it built, or they could have built it, right? It goes hand in hand. You had to have the ability to see from above and go from above to have a purpose of making it and the ability of making it. So this right here is some more Badlands in southern Alberta, and these are right on the Milk River, I believe is actually like the border between Canada and the US, but I could be wrong on that. It could just be
I want a sus buzzer, like beep.
Right.
That looks like a different kind of Badland here now. Let's figure out what happened.
Exactly.
Wait, wait, could I Spanish Badlands, let me just get it up. The Navarre Bardenas Reals. That's the best Badlands example.
Of the actual Badlands, or of like what they are declaring as a Badland? In that,
Best, I would say the coolest or more interesting is probably the ones in Spain, Bardenas Reals. It's smaller because it's in Spain, but it's like, still like 20, miles of it.
Nice. Can you,
so you get something like this.
Write that
them
up?
some
Or write that in the
lots-
private chat? I'd like to see
big
that.
Badlands.
Right, so this is supposedly just sandstone, but this looks kind of like the cart ruts and like that they were carved irrigation, and they try to claim that birds made all of these holes, and it's absolutely ridiculous because I didn't see a single bird going into any of them. The swallows actually build their nests on the outside. Here you can see some of their built nests on the outside, where they're actually using mud and sticks. They're not actually burrowing into anything. But it really reminds me of Cappadocia in Turkey. And those Badlands that are actually ruins that are inhabited. As we go along. So this is the other side of the river. And it's huge. It goes for, I believe, like 40 miles or so, but lots of very suspect block-looking ruins and what looks like just sandstone polygonal potential geopolymer ruins that are just have 10-20,000 years and plus catastrophe of natural erosion on top of it. But these are looking very megalithic, like of blocks and suspect to say the least. And also another part of the Badlands are these supposed hoodoos or fairy chimneys they're called or something. But they look sus, and I see faces everywhere. Maybe I'm just crazy, but
they're everywhere.
It's an elephant!
They're watching you.
It's an elephant.
I really want to live in that teepee up on that hill.
Right? So that.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that guy's lucky. He's got a trailer.
I'll
behind
go on the little, the trailer behind it.
That's actually the museum. It's a World UNESCO site, so that.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, wouldn't you know?
Part of it, right? And
this is a solid tour, Bernie. Good job.
Yeah.
Right, and so just you wait. Look, there's
there's
more.
like pillars over there. What the?
There's what appears.
I'll know
to
where
be
the UNESCO site is in case I'm asked.
Exactly, and I'm going back here as well, and then look at this face up here.
Well, that might have been something.
And
or
when
chimneys.
The sun's setting and rising, you actually see like specific details on them, especially around the equinoxes and solstices, and that there's more very similar ones to this guy just south of the border in.
Well, it looks like it could be a chimney too. If that goes into the ground and underneath something, the top could have been open and they had like faces as they're like chimney spouts. Who knows? The chimney,
right?
whatever.
Like, lots of very suspect stuff, and it looks just like Cappadocia so much. It's so strange. As we continue along, and that there's always what appear to be these like block-like polygonal lines and structures within it. Very parallel breaks throughout. If it is somehow.
Okay, I got it. I got a new one for a second. Hold on.
The puppy. Is that your dog? Was that your dog, Bernie? Do you have a dog?
I got a dog.
Yeah, in the picture.
Oh,
in the picture.
My dog.
Yeah. Oh, hi, puppy. He's so happy.
Watch real science, gonna watch real science, gonna watch real science and think about my life. Gonna watch real science, gonna watch real science, gonna watch real science and talk about royal rife. Gonna watch real science, gonna watch real science, gonna watch real science and talk about royal rife.
So now you have to come back tomorrow for Free Energy Friday Real Science.
I gotta drop you this track. Yeah, tomorrow it's gonna be a rife day.
Right on.
All right.
Bernie's making gold. Bernie's making gold. Bernie's making gold and alchemized.
Purple gold.
Bernie's making gold. Bernie's making gold. Bernie's making gold and alchemized.
about bring Bernie back.
They call us real science, they call us real
I'm thinking,
science, they call us
you
real
guys know about
science. Trust me, bro.
the M Cave that is near Las Vegas?
MK?
Yeah, there's an M-shaped cave that a lot of YouTube influencers or autobiographers were trying to find of a guy that died searching for this cave that he went to.
Yes, the M Cave. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
M Cave Ultra.
That's
right?
No, it's not. There's nothing in
Sorry, I had to.
It's just called the M Cave.
The M Cave.
Sorry, Aiden, before you continue, I just want to quickly point out this looks like another Carteret, but / a actual constructed water spout thing through it. But yes, please talk about M Cave.
Okay, so about I think it was 2014. There was a guy that was like 55-ish, not really used to the internet, but he would always do these little blogs or YouTube videos of places that he's been to. And then he challenged a guy when he showed him that he found an M-shaped cave where he encountered passive denial things. So his body started shaking. He was like feeling like he was being electrocuted just being near it. He posted a lot about this on YouTube, and on YouTube comments people said bullshit, and he got really frustrated by that, so he started documenting his all the attempts that he did to try to find this one cave that he was sure that existed, that was north of Las Vegas in that range and basin area that is very, very dangerous to for any human to go and do, just because it's the desert and it's 120 degrees. But he eventually he really covered the whole area, and then one week he went there, and somehow he was disappeared, just straight up disappeared. We don't know where he went to. He found a uranium mine shaft, and he died. We don't know what happened to him, but apparently he left his cell phone and his video camera in his car. So that's that's foul suspect. Something really weird happened to him. But yeah.
Go into research without your phone. Okay. Or
right.
His girlfriend said that he was thinking about committing suicide.
He was depressed and stuff. Yeah, I remember hearing that.
I don't know about that. Like that lady thing.
They could have gotten to her, right? Like, say he was suicidal, or you're next. You're gonna
for sure, Bernie. Listen to that voice too. So creepy.
So we don't know what happened to him, but that area is. So what probably ended up happening, he found something like the M Cave again. But like most of those caves, it's very obvious in that area. A lot of them are sealed up, or there's tunnels to them that are sealed up.
Yep.
This is right around area, the whole Nellis Air Force Base area. So there are tunnels there, but
absolutely there are, all throughout all of those Badlands, as well as the Grand Canyon, and in Utah, in Moab and whatnot. I think it's pretty much every single one. It's massive ancient cities that have just been covered up, and they try to convince us is natural, but it's leftovers from our previous civilization.
They try to convince us a lot of things are natural these days, don't they, boys? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And birds aren't real, apparently, right? Okay, here's a really good example of what looks like those cart ruts a bit, going straight up, but I guess there's only single ones. It's not like lines of two. There's a couple more really good face ones I wanted to find. And then also, yes, So I also need to go back and see if there's any sort of astrological alignments with these holes and stuff during the equinox or solstice at some time or over the next couple of years as time goes on. But there is history of petroglyphs throughout, and I have yet to do the full tour where the park people take you on boats and go up to other parts of these hoodoo Badlands structures where there's some petroglyphs that have been dated to over 10,000 years, some dated to several thousand years, and then some as recent as when the white man came and was conquering and at war with the indigenous, where they've depicted themselves on horses firing guns at each other. And I guess also this specific area was never conquered. It remained as part of the tribe lands, and then this portion became a park, and that there was always resistance out of it, and that there was like these RCMP watch towers going in and out of this river valley and system. So were they actually
How much resistance could there be? There's not that many Native Americans.
Well, right, but they weren't like it's Canadian history that they weren't actually captured here, and like that they held out part of the original
Well, that's like all of Washington State and Oregon State and Vancouver.
I mean, I don't know how many people were trying to take this area. I mean, really just
they're just like, hey, once they kind of realize what's happening, all right, we'll just give you this giant reservation, and they're like, okay, cool.
I mean, dude, there's like Native Americans that lived into the 1930s in like the mountainside outside of Sacramento that escaped their Yosemite tribes. You know, there's a lot of that going on.
Absolutely, right? Escaping the persecution of the residential schools, like up until the 70s in Canada. They were still taking children away from their families.
You know about Ishi? Ishi is let me turn down
He's like the last of his tribe. There wasn't that many Native Americans in California.
Well, that's just not really true. There were tons of Native Americans in Yosemite and in East California. There was the Mighty tribe in the Bay Area. There were lots of Native Americans. No, by the point of the late 19th. By the point of the late 19th century, there were only a few
saying
hundred.
In the 1700s, there's like only 100 of them.
No. There was definitely like hundreds of there are hundreds of thousands of Native Americans.
They teach us.
Hundreds of thousands of Native.
Bro, I've been like all across from Alaska to Peru, and there are nothing but Spanish missions and breweries that are all where they've completely re-educated, removed populations, built dams, and flooded entire areas so that tribes couldn't get to where they used to go before. There's crazy amounts of culture that exists on the West Coast.
Is that the British that's writing that, or is that
no? I mean, they're literally. Well, granted, Jesuits are talking about some of these tribes, and like but they're saying they're mostly saying that they don't have any. The Jesuits say that they don't have any buildings, that they're non-architecturally savvy, all that other stuff. They're not talking so much about the fact that there are these huge, diverse tribes, which later on, this is why Ishi is so important, because they could do linguistics and find out which part of the tribes are connected to which. They could see and they could infer huge trade networks that existed that had that same linguistic connection from Alaska all the way to Galveston, Texas. And so the fact that people in California were trading with these groups, like it's not just a small population. There was definitely major famines, plagues, and things that resulted because of the Spanish and the Portuguese. Most of the Native Americans, either died out or hid, and then they were like shot off. Like Ishi was saying, most of his tribe were hunted down randomly by
other Indian tribes.
No, true. There's also people fighting.
They were ran off cliff by the cowboys.
It's worth pointing out Aiden's point. it's worth pointing out to Aiden's point that Native Americans are not some like romanticized thing, that they're going to give you like Pocahontas Disney wisdom. Like people really, that's an inversion of racism as well. Native Americans were warring. There were a lot of wars between the tribes before the Columbian period, right? Or before.
Yeah, well, it's even after the Columbian period. I mean,
Well, it's more so after the Columbian pyramid because we divided and conquered and played them off each other, and some were loyal to the French, some
like
were
that
loyal
pun.
to
They
the
were
English,
doing it
some were loyal to the
beforehand, too.
Spanish,
Like,
and
this
some were
is
loyal to the breakaways.
It's
right?
that Columbian pyramid. That's what it was. Yeah.
I would have to, I mean, I know Ishi's tribe, but like most of these tribes, especially like that we know of, the Great Plain tribes, of the ones that all the, excluding the Cherokee, most of these tribes were.
Oh, so you mean like to say, okay, so if you're saying that in terms of like actually like the amount of people that live together in a tribe, because tribes were connected into intertribal groups, but tribes would be like 400 people, 100 people even, because you have a matriarch around a patriarch, and then you have several families, and so you end up having maybe like 12 families around a single patriarch, and so yeah, there's probably like it's about the size of a village or a community. Yeah.
I mean, but
that's true. But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of thousands, tens of thousands of tribes at that point.
Okay, let me put it this way: California, at the time of the 1600s, probably had 30,000 people at most. 30,000.
I don't know if I believe that. I think that does fit though with some narratives. Like some people would say, okay, Cabbage Patch Babies, there was nobody on Earth, and that California was pretty much empty. But I think there's enough evidence to show that there really were lots of people in California. That California was like a center for a civilization. I mean, the pure gold in and of itself is pretty suspicious. That we have just so much raw ore, pure ore, conspicuously pure ore.
Right. Well, they were the founders. They were the ones that came and found the remains of the previous civilizations. They labeled everything as Badlands. They're like, don't go in there. And then every time there's these gold rushes, anytime like a cave was found or city was found, they go in, they melt it down, they destroy everything, and then they build a city next to it. Is how it seems, and
claim it.
You think of the gold rush? Like I was trying to get Brittany to watch The Curse of Sierra Madre, or The Treasure of Sierra Madre, right? That old Humphrey Bogart movie about the gold rush. Because California wasn't just finding, the Mormons in Eureka at Sutter's Mill, like they found big Volkswagen-sized pieces of gold allegedly, but the majority of people getting gold were taking dynamite, blowing up mountainsides, literally, like those pictures of what you were showing earlier, blowing things like that up, and then washing them away with hoses so that they could get the powdered
it was
gold out of
huge
it.
hydraulic. It was insane, the hydraulic thing. And so there's also documentary of the Spanish doing the same with the pyramids down in Peru and Bolivia with the huge hydraulic waters and just diverting rivers to then put them in hoses and destroy everything to bore through.
I do think we're watching that later. After, because you mentioned that 4 hours ago. So
I actually do.
I don't think you had to try very hard.
Britt's like, no spoilers. Okay.
Yeah, like.
All right, I do know something about the 1600s mining operations in, the Bolivia, Peru area.
Yeah, I was in Potosi.
Is that most of those mines were about 10,000 to 11,000 feet. They did not do strip mining or any of the type of mining that we did. They did directly inside the mountain. So there wasn't that many.
Those are the ancient mines. I was talking about the actual mounds and pyramids, the mud brick pyramids and stuff in the deserts that they literally melted away, washed away with hoses.
Yeah. So Potosi is different. What Aiden, what you're talking about, which is correct, is that like the ancient mines like Potosi, those are silver mines that the Spanish actually conquered that were already being used by the Bolivians.
No, not Cerro de Rico. It was Cerro de Rico was actually how it started. It was a native Peruvian who was once they kind of figured out, we need to make money. He was helping them out. He went up there. He did some analysis on that, and then he brought them over there saying, hey, we can get rich here. It was a native that showed us the area of that area, but
it goes way back. It goes way back. I was in Potosi, and they have a god statue, this devil thing with this giant phallus they call Tio, and that they worship. That's in the mountainside. And so they talk about like at a certain point their ancestors lived under most of these tribes, like Quechua, have a tradition of living underground, and this is one of the hellmouths, right? And so at a certain point they lived for a century underground in these caves before some sort of major cataclysm or flood, right? And the Peruvians have this story, the Hopi have this story. I mean, this is like everywhere. This is a major one, but Potosi is one of those spots.
Yeah. But like there's there's like 10 or 20 of those, mountains, Sierra de Rico, and a few in, were like massive, large scale, but I don't know that much about. I know there's tunnels that go like for miles there, but yeah, I mean that was a big thing then. It wasn't as much of murdering. Well, the natives then kind of wanted to have their separate government that was not run by the Spanish. They understood the Spain would never give up those gold mines, but
so. Sorry, I just wanted to move on with the pictures. This one I wanted to point out. This really does look like an old chimney with brick and what looks like smaller brick, as does some of over here. And was it originally some of it sandstone brick work that then got burnt or vitrified or whatnot, some sort of catastrophic event, and then tens of thousands of years of erosion on it, and it just everything.
Perhaps whatever was venting oozed out of it, or something like that.
Right,
and drained all over the place. But yeah, or it just happened naturally from rain and sand piles that turned into things that looked like that.
Again, right there, what looks like some of the cart ruts. Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I got it. I totally got it. And that's perfect. I feel like I was filming that right there, actually.
Right, and it just goes on forever.
Wow. These look like chimney stacks, too, or little huts. I don't know.
Right? It literally looks like Cappadocia in Turkey, where there are people still living in cave houses throughout all of it. Very strange. And there's tons of tunnels.
What's the narrative on this place? Like, what happened? What do they say? Is this a bad land?
Yep, just naturally formed badland.
Hey, why? Okay, well, I want to know how that happened there, or that. Like anthills, maybe there's like giant ants,
right?
Could have also come in and built little
giant termites, giant mushrooms.
But then we'd hear about that, right? We'd hear about those things too. The creatures, maybe they're hiding the creatures that did this. I can see that.
Yeah,
I don't want to know about that. I don't want to know that exists. If it's if those are anthills, don't tell me about them.
Aiden, ask me what rock this is real quick.
Oh, this is all sandstone.
No, just ask Aiden. Ask me what rock this is real quick.
What type of rock is that?
That's Fraggle Rock.
Oh,
it is Fraggle
I don't know
Rock.
if it's really deserves that kind of, but I feel like it's true.
I feel like that's the show we should be watching. I feel like
Right?
Bro,
that's
all I have to do, I don't even have to close my eyes and I see Fraggle Rock.
I do too.
See that
Good
shit?
dog.
agree.
The old
I
man.
loved that show as a child.
I identified with a couple characters on there.
Yeah, dude. The Grand Poobah.
I identify as a Fraggle.
That's me.
Can we do that?
Dude. You were not a Fraggle.
Very
You're a dozer.
One of the workers?
Yeah.
Yes. I'll be a dozer.
No, you look
I'll
more like
take
a
a
Fraggle though. You look like the Fraggle lady with like whimsical Fraggle lady.
Oh, lovely.
What was your
I
name?
will take that as a compliment, even though I don't know that being called a Fraggle is.
Oh,
that is my
Fraggles are
dream.
base.
That is my dream, though. To be a Fraggle would be cool.
Fraggle, you're like the liberal
Be a
arts,
Muppet.
the like UCSC.
Oh, there we go. Lovely.
You know what I mean?
Which one do I look like?
Oh, I'm the.
It's like my mom and dad were
Yeah,
like,
I
"You look
know.
like Witch Hazel." I was like, "What? When?"
Bruh, we're all Fraggles. You're not
Your
like
hair when you
special.
were a baby. And then I looked it
We
up.
need
and
to do AI Fraggle Rock and somehow incorporate
Ooh.
Sam into it.
Didn't they
So
already
we
do
have
that
Sam
with
and Fraggle Rock.
that one movie with the weird Muppets. What was that one? You know the one with
There's a lot of weird Muppets.
no,
out
the
there,
guy
bro.
who did Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Feebles.
that's right. You did Meet the Feebles.
Yeah,
I thought I was
somebody
worried you
did
did
it.
Meet the Feebles.
Yeah, somebody already did that with the Muppets. They turned them into like this weird. No, we could AI. You should AI the Muppets.
Ours will be
Or the
Care Bear
Fraggles. I
Muppets.
mean, the Fraggles. Care Bear Fraggles.
Care
Bear
Bear
Fraggle
Muppets,
Muppets.
right?
Isn't a Fraggle a Muppet technically by the definition of a Muppet, or is
No,
it?
we got to combine all three. So
Oh my gosh!
You
Oh
gotta be
boy!
really careful.
Oh boy! I don't know.
The movie that begins is family
I was
friendly
too
and
young
ends in
when I saw
disaster.
this. I think.
right.
Not okay.
No. Yeah.
Oh, it's so I don't need to see this
I
now. I'm
remember
gonna have
being
nightmares.
traumatized by
What
it,
is
I
this
think.
one?
It's
Yeah, it got
Meet the
dark and
Feebles
dirty,
by
didn't
dude. Pause on that. Good work.
Oh my god! I
Nice
need to look
work.
it up now.
Is that Bernie or Andreas?
That's the mother of all hippos. Yeah.
Oh,
The
lovely.
Feebles. Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Meet the Feebles.
That
You
was
blacked
my
it
big,
out. Some of us.
that was my
I
big
think-
concern
yeah,
in
we
7th
blacked it
grade
out.
because they heard that the
Who
guy
was I
made
in?
Meet the Feebles was making Lord of the Rings. I was like, not that guy. No.
Oh boy.
No.
That looks so bad. But I don't know.
Well,
Now, if you
know,
watch it, it's actually what. Now the plot might be legit. I don't remember.
some people
You
think
say-
some
somebody's-
people do think good things are
I
bad.
haven't seen. I don't remember it. I blacked it out, but I'm pretty
And some
sure
people
there's
do think bad
probably-
things are good. I would say this is a movie that everyone should see, but not until they're like 21
30,
or something like that.
35. Just kidding.
I mean, I saw it young, and I'm here now, so that's your benchmark.
Oh my god! This is
I
like.
did too, and it definitely scarred me. So
Yeah.
maybe that's
That-
part of my trauma.
Dark Crystal too was a little trauma, but so was like
I
Secrets
love
of
the-
Nim, and I watched
I love
Secrets
the
of Nim like
Netflix
every
series.
day.
Man,
Now
these,
I can't even watch it.
but these post Columbine kids, like they're too soft, right? Like we need more of those kinds of movies. We need more
Labyrinth
Dark
and
Crystal.
Secrets of Nim, and like Don't
Yeah.
Wish Your Brother Gone or He'll Be Gone forever. I actually
Yeah.
did chose Labyrinth to my children after.
You
She
probably
wished
wished your
for
sister
her brother
gone,
to be
didn't you?
gone. Yeah, no, I didn't.
What I
Maybe.
love about
Yeah,
Labyrinth is that they had that screamy little like rat sound that's like in episode 1 and 2, and I was like, oh my god, it's like that was the origin of it.
From what? What in
Some of the
Labyrinth?
sound effects of like creatures screaming, you could hear that in episode 1 of Star Wars. That was something George Lucas put in.
The same track?
The
Like,
"Yippee-doo,
literally?
yeah, woo, woo," like
Oh, really? The identical like soundtrack?
it
Or like he
felt
just tried
very
to replicate
similar.
it? Interesting sync. I want to hear that now. Have to look that up. But yeah.
So they traumed us from that point forward with
Right.
the screechy little rodent thing from. What was it? Sorry.
Star Wars or from
No.
the Meet the Feebles or from
No.
Fraggle Rock?
No, the other movie.
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. The Labyrinth.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I just
But how
watched
cool was that I could put all of those into the little row like that and remember what we were talking about?
Well done,
Everything
sir.
but
Well
those.
done.
Everything but what you said.
Oh, he got there though.
Yeah.
So, last couple pictures of this World UNESCO site writing on stone. This one also looks like potentially ancient brickwork of a structure with like the outside wall and then like an inside wall. I don't know, kind of almost looks Egyptian-like ish, but that's just speculation. More Cappadocia style, but. Here we can see the bird nests, how the birds clearly build on the outside with mud and sticks. They do not, and none of them are in any of the holes like they try to claim that the birds are responsible for. Here you can see some more birds building on the outside, not
Like
digging
dinosaur
in,
birds.
making all of these random holes. Those holes have nothing to do with birds or other animals. There's the
And
bird.
some might be weather
There's
related.
Yeah,
you know,
it could be
but
erosion, absolutely.
Some of the holes and whatnot, I see. But like, it'd be nice to see what it looked like before the erosion happened.
This one looking rather pyramidal. Again with like the layered, what looks like megalithic
Measured.
blockwork potentially. And there's an epic campground down right to the right behind this rock here, and then you got like a nice sand beach on the river. But that's just my ghetto Albertan ass. Y'all frequent coasts and oceans and real beaches. But hey, come to the Badlands, you might still get a river beach
And a good time. Sorry.
right? Like, and
The Badlands for a good time. It looks great.
it looks so suspect.
Yeah, how do you? I want to go inside there. Like, there's no way to like get into. It's
No,
like,
there's
what?
tunnels in them. There's
Okay.
tunnels. They're just up. Like some of these are like 4 to 5 stories tall, and it's like you gotta like get up 3
Crawl
stories,
in and
like,
go
get
up
up
and
into them and around them and stuff. It's actually quite crazy, quite intense, and everything looks rather blocky. Oh, there's an actual arm bone I found. This thing was weird. It was like,
Is that a mushroom? What is it?
no, it's like
Where's it?
some red face, almost like a mask or something that was like coming out of the actual
Dude, it looks
sand.
like it looks like a fossilized
Yeah, fossilized
beehive or
something.
a wasp nest or something.
But it's bent on a. It looks like it's on a flat, like a wooden plaque. I don't know. I have to see.
Right, whatever it is, it's like coming out of the sandstone is completely different. Rather strange.
That's like
strong.
growing out of it. Yeah, it doesn't look
Again,
natural.
another
Doesn't
one.
look natural. Really, I don't know. It looks like it was coming out of a hole, being forced out of it.
Lots of suspects.
It looks like something was melted a little bit, or during. But is that the narrative? I don't even know.
No, they just claim wind and rain makes all of this, but very, very suspect.
Wind. After maybe if it was really like,
And they
I don't
claim
know.
birds made all of these holes, yet you never see a single
Mhm.
bird in any of them or around any of them. You see them in their actual nests that they
And how
construct
deep
on-
do those go? Like, is it just a teeny hole, or is there something back in
Some of them go in like
room?
several feet and even further where you can't even see it. Here again, like what looks like potential block, I don't know. But then here's some of the ancient petroglyphs that were close by to the main entrance. Not too spectacular, but then again, it looks like they're written on these megalithic sandstone blocks. Potentially, like very, very blocky.
Looks a lot like my other box here. Yeah. You can see those even at like St. Croix Falls in Minnesota when you're in the middle of the woods, like, random buildings, whatever that they say is just left and eroded from weather.
Right? And it's like,
People pay attention to that when you're out like hiking for real. It's just crazy.
What was the Native American doing with his cell phone at the powwow?
Oh dear.
He was looking for a smoke signal.
I like that.
Yeah, it was
Dude.
pretty cringe.
With his phone?
I don't know.
How do you use a phone with a smoke signal?
Again, what looks
Bro,
like
it's
another
like
case
a
here.
dad joke.
It's like a tobacco type pipe or something. I don't know. Like a cell phone signal? You can make that better.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. All right.
Work
You-
on that. Work on
you-
that. Like, there's
you
a
at
way
home.
better delivery.
You at
No, I
home.
can do it, but I gotta focus on this. Like, give me like 5 seconds to rewrite that joke better.
All right.
Sorry. No offense.
No,
It's okay.
that was my writing stone photos. Now I've got some off the internet of the actual crazier petroglyphs.
Crazier. We're gonna get crazier than that, huh?
In the same sites, just
Next level.
real petroglyphs, and some dated from like up to 10,000 years.
Ooh. Real.
And some from
Not
from more recent-
suspected. Okay, here we go. We're gonna see
Oh.
what's going on with these petroglyphs.
obvious ancient inhabitation for a very long time. Pulling it up. Andres?
Yes. Oh, that doesn't look like
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Me?
There we go. So,
Put
Sorry.
back.
I was
Alright,
adjusting my hair.
all good. That's allowed. So here's ones that obviously, if the colonizers brought horses, that would have to be, them on the run with the horses. But then we've got things like this crazy Thunderbird one. This supposedly was dated, one of the ones that was dated to 8 or 10,000 years old. This Phoenix thing. Wrong way. We got the Turtle Man. Whatever that guy is.
It's like a rabbit on his chest. Go back to that one, no? Does that look like a, no, maybe not a standing rabbit? Maybe not. Looks like a bunny. Sorry. I'm thinking in bunnies. Never mind. Get out of there.
And back to the Alberta Badlands, guys. So here you can see this clearly during the fall. And, right, same clear definition of the faces, showing the faces again. All right, back to writing on stone. Here we got a chief hunting. Well, I guess that's can't be a buffalo, like maybe a deer. I don't know. Then some of the more carved ones showing. I don't know what. I'm gonna have to be going back and do like 3 or 4 days here this year to actually get all of the tours of it.
This is nuts. This is just you taking pictures of stuff you're seeing?
Those last ones weren't my pictures, but everything else.
You're going to go there and to the same places now?
Yeah, I'm going to go back. Okay. So, this album isn't my pictures. The last album all was my pictures. So gotcha. This right here is Mystery Rock, Saskatchewan Mystery Rocks, and they're at the same latitude as these other places I've been showing, the other Badlands, and this is just a bit further east along the number 3 highway east of these guys. And
what do you call a fish wearing a bow tie?
Oh my gosh.
A Bowie. No. A blow,
So sophisticated.
Sophisticated. So
sophisticated.
So sophisticated.
That's a good one. All right, now what were you saying? Dang it.
This
Here we go.
is known as Canada's Stonehenge in Medicine Wheel, but it's actually a star calendar chart. And it is at least 6,500 years old. They've dated it to. It's called Omak, Alberta. Back
it's
to
so good. Look at this. Oh my gosh.
That's one wrong. That is outside of Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump, which I also have some pictures to show. So this right here, this site is excavations at where the rocks that were from above, the Saskatchewan Mystery Rocks that I was just showing. This is in the same Cypress Hills Park, doing excavation on a settlement that was from 3,500 years old or something like that. And then this is also in the same area in Cypress Hills Park as this settlement and the other Mystery Rocks. This is the Okotoks Radic. Okay, here we go. There's back to the Medicine Wheel star calendar. There's come on. Oh, there. Okay, here we go. A little bit better showing a little bit of it, but supposedly they've gotten dates, carbon dates of at least 6,500 years on that. Another picture writing stone. Here we go. There. So this is the Saskatchewan Mystery Rocks, also in that Cypress Hills, where they found the settlements from at least 3,500 years and those other strange megalithic rocks. And this Omak calendar is very close in between the last 2 places I was showing of the Medicine Hat Badlands and the Saskatchewan Mystery Rocks. And done that little.
That definitely looks like a city. That's crazy. Like the circular city.
I can't wait till you go back and get more footage. And I was already looking at Google Earth and had to stop myself because now I have to I want to zoom in on everything. That's
yeah,
cool.
Can you bring back that Google Earth if you still had that location in it?
And then also, doesn't Aiden have some shorts too that you're going to share at some point? No, but finish the Google Earth stuff too. I'm just making sure.
Do
all the everything's. But yeah, for sure. Otherwise, yeah, I definitely, yeah, that's new.
So that's
Star Force on pyramids.
Saskatchewan mystery. Okay, got it. Shows. And then you have to just go north of. Oops. Here we go.
Oh,
This is the
we're trying to
Okotoks
get rid of-
erratic.
I'm sorry.
That I took some pictures of. And they say that it somehow was moved 300 kilometers from Jasper, Alberta, that just burnt down. Supposedly, that is where this Okotoks erratic originated from, and they claim that it was brought by a glacier, even though you can kind of see faces on it.
Mm.
How the heck did something that size get carried by a glacier
Oofty.
300 kilometers through several mountain chains and then across the foothills? It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Gently.
And
Yeah, I was going to say it's a very powerful glacier, but you said gently, but I thought it maybe just zoomed right over the whole.
But here's the
Bunch.
thing. They claim that it's on top of a glacier, but anytime you put a rock on snow or ice, what does it do? Oh, it heats up and it melts to the bottom, right?
It's going to surf.
How
on
the
snow.
heck did it stay on top and not melt to the bottom and
It
stay
was
where it was?
surfing on the glacier. It surfed on the
Right.
top and was
They
like
literally-
gliding. It's perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, it would have to be moving pretty fast. So it would have to have
Without
pushed itself
slowing
in.
down, which
Yeah.
is like, if you think about it, through hills and stuff, I don't know, it would slow.
through several
Down.
mountain ranges. It had to go up.
Maybe it
and
was a whole
over.
castle at first, and then that was all that was left at the end of it that slid through it all. And it left.
Or
I'm just
it
kidding.
could have been like moved and built, or like
Yeah,
ground
or was
down
there,
stuff
and yeah, I don't know.
go polymered back. Who knows? But
That's
it
bizarre.
wasn't moved by a glacier 300 kilometers over several
It's a
mountains.
random spot.
Right? Like
What in the middle? Okay, that is random. That's random.
pretty random spot. So you can see the size. Oops. Oh,
Wow.
see the size of Amber compared to this massive quote
Structure.
unquote erratic.
Is that split right down the middle between the two of those,
Yeah,
or is it?
It's actually split in 4 different spots, and there's even like a little cave inside of it. And it's like, how did the glacier supposedly also move all 4
things to the same little spot?
same
And then
spots?
it was a
over
tiny
300
glacier. It was
kilometers,
narrow. It was really narrow too, and directed
right?
like-
So that's been fine.
like a snake. Wow, interesting. Well,
Or is it just leftover remnants
Yeah,
of
might-
something from beforehand?
it's definitely worth questioning.
Right?
Wow.
Exactly. Very sus. Very sus. Oops.
Wow. Yeah, when they were making some of these stories up, they didn't realize people were going to be able to like easily
From the
photograph and share information
Exactly, right?
like this. So it's kind of like, yeah.
They never thought the internet would exist. And here we are.
Here we
Trying
are.
to figure it all out. Just how did all of it get to the exact same spot? I think a glacier is impossible. Maybe a massive flood wave, right, of water that just
Like a, yeah,
massive
going that
tsunami
way.
or something like that.
Yeah.
But definitely not a
It
glacier.
was a twister. A twister. Just kidding.
Maybe.
No, I don't know. Tornadoes.
Not in Kansas anymore. It took a chunk of a mountainside.
All the way.
Kilometers.
Yeah, tornadoes don't happen in certain places, so you can't really use that excuse.
All right. So, Aiden,
He's
Wanna
got
go-
some shorts or some
I
cartoons.
mean, like the short that I just got out was, I guess we can do the, Andreas, Is Andrea still here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, how about you post out the Charles Manson one that I sent you?
Where is it? Is it on YouTube?
It's yeah. I mean that one maybe, but it has a song track to it now.
Ooh.
So go to the Instagram to watch it, or
No, it'd be like in your messages. I did send you the link for that.
messages in Instagram, or messages where?
Messages in Instagram.
Okay, in the Project Gem.
Yeah. I think that one was the one I put it in under. 'Cause
I
it's now
see
kind of-
the Barney interviewing Biden one. I don't see. Can you resend it? I don't.
Barney
see it.
interviewing Biden? That
Yeah.
sounds funny.
That one?
We watched
DJ
it
Barney
yesterday.
slandered.
That sounds interesting.
We can put it. We can watch that again too. But I'm trying to find the one he's talking about.
I definitely sent it to you, but
Oh, yeah, watch that one.
Is it? So I don't see it in Project. Yeah, just resend it to me in Instagram real quick.
yeah, this one's unlisted. I don't think this is the edited one though, but I just sent it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
basically a Charles Manson idea you had. I thought,
But there's no audio yet. You're saying you have an audio version of it somewhere?
There's,
yeah, it's not. It's just with the song FM84. You can put it on mute if you want to.
Oh, okay. I'll just play the. You know what? Wait. Let's.
Be the one, getaway dreamer. This is not the soundtrack. Yeah,
This is all AI?
Yep.
Wild. Like 6 months ago or max year, they couldn't even get like hands or feet right now. Pictures.
Yeah.
Now we've got full
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah, this is as good as anime was in the early 70s.
Stable Diffusion 6.1 just came out.
wow, James Dean?
Yeah.
Oh my god. What? Bring back James Dean.
Beautiful.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. James Dean lives.
I could never get the timing on these right, like how fast I need to do it, but
I want all James
Looking
Dean
pretty
ones.
good.
Hey, can you get me an all James Dean? Just random new photos of him?
yeah,
Is
just
it
like
only-
weird like scenes of him just
Tons. Anything. That was amazing to even see those. That's cool. He died young. This is ridiculous. Oh my god, the struggles.
Yeah, and then it's
The
just like,
trials and tribulations. Oh my god. This is so ridiculous. Oh. God. Hey, this is Johnny Mitchell concert.
that's Zac Efron
Oh yeah. James Dean.
screwing Zac Efron.
Oh my god. Oh. I'll tell you though, yeah. Yeah, that's it. God damn, there's. Wow. This is gnarly.
Yes, I love it.
Really
Yeah, that was the
gnarly.
yeah. It's Mid Journey is like really good and like weird that
Good.
people don't really get to use it like the way I do.
There's
Bro,
a lot of people.
that's my new favorite music video.
That's really
Honestly, I just
good.
want to hear that song with that video. I could just Like that could be
That was
just
great.
that's enough.
It
as it
was
is.
FM 84 song. I just give you the one.
If you want to go and
Daydream.
capture lots of normies,
That's a very chill beat. Like it was just like
Is that your beat?
you know, rolling like that was good.
But-
Like, all right, Charles Manson. All
I'm
right,
saying
man.
the way I felt when I saw James
Charles
Dean
Manson
again,
coming to
just
murder me.
being a
All
James
right.
Dean fan, and I'm not even that big of a fan, but like when I was a kid, I love James Dean, and there's only so many movies, there's only so many images, so the fact that you can bring him back in like motion,
Dude,
that
please
would
do.
speak to a lot of people, like even like older than me that love James Dean. Like
Yeah, like,
so. If you can do
Yeah.
anything like that, or like with a gun, and like if he was in like a CIA movie or something,
Aiden and I are gonna be. There's dreams. There's plans.
I love.
There's
His
narratives.
look is gorgeous.
There's narratives coming.
Whew.
You'll see.
It's so weird.
That was awesome, though. Thank you for that. That was delightful.
Because
Yeah.
like you can make now you can like because of the wait, I got a good funny Mandy Smith photo. Do you guys know who Mandy Smith is?
Funnies.
Mandy Smith.
Granny Smith
Mandy-
Apple? Just
I
You
see
mean
her.
like you mean like the English pop star?
Yes, the one that was like married to a guy when she was 13.
Yeah.
oh my.
Yeah, she has like some of the. Wait, I think I have it right here.
I just can't wait.
Just
What you want me,
can't
baby.
wait to be.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
very like weird how I don't know. I love or just like weird photos of Trump with like in a horror movie in like 1980s horror film. Working like Donald Trump with Kylie Minogue like 1985.
Yeah. She was
That's
with
good.
She was with Bill Wyman from the Rolling Stones when she was 13, and they kept it secret till she was like 16, basically.
Like just weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, he's a. Yeah, that was like the original person
Well, you
that
know.
thought about doing Hunter Biden videos too.
The
like,
Rolling Stones, dude, they like change their blood, bro. Like that's their.
Oh, yeah.
That's their, they know who they
Yeah,
are.
this-
It's like, do not be shocked in front of me about the.
But
Rolling
don't
Stones.
judge them for doing
Well-
that. I mean, if you're gonna do so many drugs and you have the access to like having blood boys,
The
or,
legal
like,
age is
blood.
16 in England. See again with the whole like,
So
Oh, that part? I was talking about the drug.
There you go.
The
the blood thing. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with getting your blood changed in Switzerland. They paid for it. I don't know.
Isn't that legal in California? Don't people have blood boys everywhere?
Probably here.
It's illegal to
They have
blood
different
dope.
laws
Things
over in
like-
Europe and these European monarchies still existing, like The Hague and Monaco and all of that, right? It's
Yeah.
interesting stuff. Dutch king and queen, and how many are there? There's several, right? Like
I didn't know this part. So when Wendy Smith was married to Wyman, Wyman's 30. Okay, they broke up in '89. Okay, in 1993, Wyman's 30-year-old son from his first marriage, a whole different thing, Stefan, married Wendy Smith's mother, Patsy, then age 46. So like, Wyman's son was into like older women after his dad dated the woman he loves daughter. I don't know. That just seems like weird. There's like a whole other inversion going on there.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Rolling Stones are weird, bro.
Hmm.
Stick to
Or
the
the
Beatles.
same
The
guy
Beatles
also-
are the NSYNC of the '60s. You know, they're clean cut
He
kids.
found out he got a woman pregnant in like 1967 or 1968 because he hung out for New Zealand, and then he went back to England, and then like 9 months later he comes back. He's like, "Hey, where's she at? Like, she's not answering her phone. Like, we told her like we were coming back." And she's like, they're like, this was Australia actually. They're like, "Oh, she migrated to New Zealand. She had a kid with you, but she doesn't really want to, she's fine without it."
he's
So he's
fine without you in the life.
Yeah, so
fine.
it was like, he was like, "All right, I'll write her a few like mails." Like, and he like apparently talked to her parent, but like her parents were like, "Nah, she's fine. She doesn't like." He's like, and then he writes, "Is like, I have this kid I've never even met before. It's so weird."
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah. Very
tried.
weird.
Sounds like you
I've
tried.
got- So y'all want to hear something strange and crazy? I've got 3 half ants. I guess they're full. Yeah, no, half ants because it was same grandfather but different grandma because he left. Never met them, but I have 2 Aunt Kellys, 2 Aunt Darcys, and 2 Aunt Sherrys because my grandfather left my grandma and then moved from one city 2 cities over. So it's like I'm in Calgary and it's like my grandma was like to the west, and then I guess he settled to the north, and then had a whole other family with another 3 daughters, and renamed them Darcy, Kelly, and Sherry, the same as my mom's 3 sisters. It's
never forget Jonathan Jacob.
That is no. That's like the Brady Bunch, but like Canadian
Right.
style. I don't even know how to do that. That's not Canadian. That's like Bernie's.
The Alberti Bunch.
The Alberti Bunch. No.
They're actually the green.
The Bernie Bunch.
You've
That
seen
is
the
a
new-
nut show.
You seen the new like the new Gene Lord? He's a meme lord and a Gene Lord.
Oh, this guy.
He's
Who
got
cares?
1,000 kids in every country.
More. Yeah.
What?
It's it's
Yeah.
not a
So he's super sperm donored all over the world, and started
This,
in
this,
Netherlands.
this guy
and
right
Australia.
here with that look in his eyes and
Bro.
what?
He's
And
doing
he
like
has-
truth
Care of the
journalism. He's
jelly
doing
fish.
boots on the ground footage about
he does videos like every
so
freaking
funny.
day, and he's got like a small audience of basically just his kids that are all around the world in Africa, Australia, Argentina.
Probably, I
And he
suppose.
just
Oh my God,
travels.
does he go and meet a different child each episode?
no, not at all. That's
So-
like not at all.
Oh, that would be
he used
cool.
it to pay for his travels. Essentially, maybe I don't know.
He's going all over the world. He's
Watch
going
the
to
show.
He does online sperm donations, and then he also like meets with these clinics around the world, and he'll fly to the clinics, and he'll do
And
it in
they'll do,
every
like,
single country,
in-person
and he'll
donations.
max out the amount of donations you can do in every
That's
country.
a lot of international whacking off.
Yeah, and now he's gonna be. I mean, like essentially, there will be tens of thousands of people.
He's
in
the new Genghis Khan.
He's the new Genghis Khan.
He's the jellyfish stare
Biracial
Genghis Khan of
lesbian wanted
Australia.
a blonde man to have a kid with, and then like cutting that kid's genitals off.
What?
I missed the
Dated.
reference, but
They
You know how
stopped
many, like,
castration
weird people,
on
like,
humans
do,
like
like-
100 years ago.
You know how like many weird people use sperm donors? Like it's like very
Yeah.
eclectic.
well, that's the
weird-
point. Is that he basically took an entire race of people that were going to die out, like
Oh, the
all
lost
these-
generation. And
Yeah, all
he's
these
supplying-
genes.
Oh, I
and
get
so
it.
like women that couldn't find a partner, or that they were like homosexuals, or whatever reason they weren't going to
Or
breed.
now the ones that have had gender changing surgery.
Gender changing surgery, or they were married to a guy who had what's it called, where you get your vasectomy or whatever the heck. So a lot of reasons why people weren't going to end up having offspring, and then this guy comes along, and now they're all of those families that would have just died out, they don't now. It's kind of an interesting. All of that's interesting too. Yeah.
Does no one else donate to sperm banks? Like,
There's a shortage, I guess.
paid
Yeah, you
have
can
a
get
larger
paid.
channel by
There's like
going to,
$300 or
randomly
something.
donate sperm.
They'll
to
fly
other
you
countries
to certain
unvaxxed.
countries to donate sperm. They'll pay for your ticket and your hotel.
Yeah.
Especially if you're unvaxxed. Is that true? I've heard.
I don't even know about that. They
Allegedly
probably don't
not,
care.
yeah.
They just want it. Any way you got it.
So you could be
Probably
this
especially Canadian.
person
I mean,
with,
it's probably
oh, yeah,
higher
yeah.
value. I would think it would. I would.
I don't know. They seem less aggressive.
So-
I don't know if you'd want that. Like, especially in sperm.
If I was-
Don't you want them aggressive?
I would know.
For that?
Canadian. You
No,
want
the
to have a
sperm
nice.
needs to be aggressive to get to the egg.
You want to
right?
have a nice, young,
So you don't
good,
want.
well-mannered
You wouldn't want passive sperm.
child that's intelligent.
want
You wouldn't want.
and
You wouldn't want.
also
strong
good at hockey.
You wouldn't want polite sperm
You know?
that were like, no, after you. Like, you wouldn't want that.
No. But
Well, if they're just
What-
racing themselves, like if there's
That
no
question was-
competition sperm in there, like it doesn't matter
yeah,
how
it's
retarded
usually-
they are
it's-
as long
okay,
as they can survive to get there eventually,
so it's
right?
usually gonna be like
Jellyfish sperm guys,
artificial
huh?
insemination.
Can you imagine the guy in the back? Like, we're all gonna get there eventually. Like,
Yeah, they
that's
don't
what
have
he's
to
saying,
be
too.
highly mobile at all for artificial. I mean, maybe like you're putting it there. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I find
Clearly.
his videos interesting.
I don't know. Before we end it, let's get back off the topic of sperm and
Yeah, oh my god.
back on
I was like, what are we talking about again? We find
got
whose
one
video is
last
interesting. Oh yeah, the
image
guy.
for you of the
guy.
Badlands if you want to pop.
All
that
right.
up.
I'm ready for those naughty
That
bad
face.
lands.
That face.
The naughty lands.
So yeah, just
Not
to
a
give a bit of reference and perspective. So this is from the road between two of the faces at the Medicine Hat Badlands Guardians. It's like
don't
no
wanna know,
trespassing,
Casey. You don't wanna
but
know.
you start seeing the terraces and these parallel terraces, and they literally go across all the way from that side to this side to that side to this. Oh, whoops! Sorry, hit the wrong button. Go back. All right. So we were about here, and they keep going, and then they keep going, and then there's Bernie right there walking up.
Oh,
trespassing all
you
to
found
get this
you.
for
It's like, where's Waldo? But Bernie,
And-
and you look like a rock. Oh,
Look at the height of these hills
There
and
he
the
is.
amount
dude.
of terraces
That's
that there
crazy.
are. And yeah, from top
Okay.
to bottom.
Now, your next tour that you go on, you have to have a bunch of pictures of you that are like that with different things in the background, and we have to do like a Where's Bernie book. I want it. That'd be
So, I've
super
already
awesome.
got that. That's our
Do
just
you?
the next episode. I just
Yes,
have to organize it.
dude, I love it.
Right?
That looks
So-
huge. That's the only way you can show scale, though. It's really hard to show anything unless you get a full body or like a vehicle. Like otherwise, we
Like
wouldn't know.
Bernie in
So,
there, right? Exactly.
yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, Bernie. That helps
So-
people like me.
For scale, we zoom all the
There
way
he
in,
is.
and there's Bernie.
There he is.
And I did
Wow.
make it to the top, right? Like, can't even see me right there.
So, what was the ground like? Was it hard? Was it feel like it was just grass?
Yeah.
Did it feel like it was steps?
pretty
I mean, that's
hard
like almost
drive.
a stairway. No,
It did.
it have been
It did
stairway?
kind of come off like stairs. It really did. It,
Huh. Interesting.
it was very interesting. All right.
I,
so
I
one
need to
last
get out more.
thought. This I'm going back to in the next couple weeks, and it
I want to go there. That
is
looks cool.
behind Mount Yamaska. And come on. Oh.
Wow.
Where? There we go. Okay. There's a couple Guardians coming up. Yeah, no. Darn it, I thought I found it. Oh, here we go. Okay, finally. Going down.
Whoa.
And. No.
No,
Oh,
there's
try to
not going to be a Bernie in here. Don't even. Oh my God. Is there? I
Sorry.
want
There-
it. Take
Ah!
your time. Take your
Oh,
time.
no.
Take your time.
Come on. Actually pause it. Finger on the trigger. Is it gonna reach it? Oh, too early. Okay, here we can see right here there's this carved path in. And then
Wow.
go back,
Just
hold
random.
horrible. This was the wrong video, my apologies. The first one was much better.
No, I like this. This is great. I'm staring,
Come on.
looking at it. And
Okay, here we go. So there's these two Guardians right here. They
oh,
look
hold
like
on,
bears.
I don't see it yet. Hold on.
And then there's these two right here that literally look like they have elongated heads and like
Can you
arms.
zoom it on that or not? Are you saying that
Not
those
in
two
the
are
video, but I do have some
Okay.
pictures. I think. that
yeah,
we-
like side by side, Guardians, like
Okay.
Never Ending Story.
Here we
Except for
go.
they're
Here's-
across from each other when you have to go across those laser eyes. Looks like one of those things.
So there's
Okay.
the Guardians. Here's the big Guardians.
Wow.
Here's the smaller, but these are still like
Dude.
50 or 75 feet. Like head, face, what looks like
What?
clamps.
You haven't been down there, or have you been down there?
I've
there.
just been above. We haven't done the hike into yet.
You're gonna go in that? Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Oh
Looks
my
like
gosh,
eight
dude.
there. And
That's
so
cool.
what's crazy though is that there's this big rock fall, and I'm guessing there's a main entrance there, but there's this one cave or pathway carved into the cliff up here into a cave that goes up there. And then on the other side of this, so on this side, there's also a carving on the cliff.
that appears to go into a cave there. So we got
Wow.
different caves.
Oh my
There's the
gosh.
So this
So
is there.
you're going in a couple weeks to do that again?
Yes, ma'am. But we're going
I
to
want to see the follow-up footage, please, if possible.
And then this is on the front side of Yamnuska
Crazy.
on the same mountain that I took that from. And I swear this is like a dinosaur reptile face with like teeth and eyes. And then each one of these is a block. And that behind him is a big cave that opens up in there. But there was definitely something in there. And my dog was like going nuts. So we didn't poke our faces in. But it opens up behind. And I'm gonna have to. I finally got a battery for my drone, so we're gonna take the drone out and actually test it and get some up close video footage of this, where I'll be able to show that each one of these is actually symmetrical blocks that be stacked with the face there, the arm there, and
cool
picture. Here we go. That's. It is actually opening into a giant cave behind this guy.
Wow. That'd be cool.
All right.
I want to go there. That's awesome that you're going back, but I do want to see the follow-up footage
A whole bunch
there.
of people, because you never know if a Sasquatch or something like that might be calling the cave home.
Cool. So, how far is that from where you are then?
That's an hour's drive. That's just
Okay,
at
not
the very entrance. It's actually the very first big mountain of the Rocky Mountains on the Highway 1 heading west from the prairies, going west into British Columbia from Alberta, but still in Alberta. And it's actually native land that these couple caves and mountains are on. And it's the first giant cliff face mountain when getting into Kananaskis country.
Cool. So it's not too far. And you will be getting there to go do the follow-up.
Yeah, we're
right?
going to do
The part 2.
Exactly.
The sequel to the Badlands. I'll try and find some Badlands in my area and go research too.
Right?
But they won't be official Badlands. They'll just be...
No, fine official. They're all over.
Terrible.
You'd be surprised.
Okay.
It's
I'll look.
crazy. Well, actually, I guess you might be a bit too far east in Minnesota, but you never know. Never know.
Canada's just a hop, skip, and a jump, though, so I might have to go there. Going after you in case you miss something. I'm just kidding.
Right? Well,
No,
exactly.
there's a lot to look at, and I'm joking.
Or
But
if
we'll
that
definitely have to do something
reptile
in Canada together.
representing reptiles. There's stories of like all sorts of stuff being. Oh
yeah.
Camera unplugged.
Lots of giants up in this area.
Right, and underground, like even LA, there's legends of underground cave tunnel systems with like reptiles or something living underneath, and the ant people in the Grand Canyon.
That's who made those things that were naturally formed. The ant people made those little huts. No.
Right, exactly. But
New
when they
theories. This is
lived
how new
above
theories form. I like it.
maybe they
Right.
still live in them.
It could be. Maybe. Jeez, that's where the people go. Don't go up the stairs. Could end up in the ant
Right, like,
farms.
get sucked in, taken in. Okay, well, I guess we're almost at 2 hours. Any last words or stuff we want to present?
Last words. Jeez. For the video, I hope.
Last
My
will
God.
and testament.
Last
Right?
words.
Yes, just for this stream.
My
maybe.
last words. Jeez. No, but for real, I want to do some boots on the ground stuff. So, and like, we should meet at like a halfway point between like where you are in Canada, where I am in Minnesota, and then like boom, if that exists.
Okay, well,
Where there's some
right
cool
over the
research.
border, you'll have to come a little. You got to come to Montana,
Yeah,
but
I'll do it.
and this is.
And
my
you might
next-
have to listen to Nickelback.
That's right. I
if you go
forgot.
there.
I always forget that Canada's all of the north and Minnesota's just this one spot. And I think that because I'm Minnesota and you're Canada, you're like, there, he's right there. What's Canada? Oh, wait, no. Canada's
So
pretty big.
I'm just north of Montana. That's
They
where
do
I'm
that
at.
with California.
No, I'm
and
not too
Canada.
far.
California and Canada could have been
Oh,
like this
yeah.
around. It could have been like this. California and Canada.
If
Might
Canada was
still
like
be.
flipped and it would have been like that, and then it would have been like,
It
yeah,
would've
they
been
go.
Canada across the top, California on the side. Keep you all safe, you know,
Dude. Gee.
like a
So-
haircut.
I'll be,
This is
yeah, I
what-
don't know. I'll be out east.
This is what is in Montana at Giants Playground. This is the giant Rhino Head Mountain.
Dude, let's do it. Can we go in the ear? Like Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Stellium.
Bernie, we should do a thing on like why. We should do a thing on how, at some point on how the Gringo Yankees tried to like take Canada, and they were like crying in the snow and turned around because the Canadians like were too hardcore. Twice. I think at least twice. Yeah.
Canadians are diehard, man. It's like,
and let's just not like
as a Minnesotan, like I'll concede to them in hockey and say I respect you. Just because
do not overestimate the Yankees just because of their surplus of Confederated American conscripted soldiers.
I love
what was that? Jeez,
don't invade us, right?
This isn't all Montana, is it? Where's this?
This is all Montana.
Fudge off! I almost said the F word. Wow.
Look at that guy's foot.
I know, look at that foot. Someone's walking up the wall.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, we gotta go for Stellium's sake. We're doing
right?
it.
Exactly.
To make him jelly to get here. He thinks it's only in Spain.
Covered. And then
also
shout out Mike Collins that working with Stage Wall. Also right there in Montana, like the Buddha thing in Giants Playground.
I've not been to Montana, and that's a road trip, actually. That's drivable. So
there's also
also I want to make sure everybody takes the time to go to Aiden Orfield's videos. Check out
Aiden's stuff. I can't wait to do the body again.
He's got a lot of cool stuff on here he's been doing, you know.
Yeah, your AI is phenomenal. That James Dean like got me. Like I was not expecting
Barney and Biden.
Yeah,
I love it.
And Barney and Biden is great.
I'll put that out tomorrow, but like with the actual song it's like credited. But it's like those take surprisingly longer than you would think that they take. Like, you know, just doing that, like you have to be like militantly, you know, on the devil of just constantly be doing it, not surfing, just be like, okay, I need to just, you know.
You have to select which parts of the frame that you want to animate and which parts you want to stay the same. And
it makes so much, so you can't, like, getting lost in how many things you can do is, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like the thing is, like, once you get one good animation, then you think you can do it better.
Right, you get it dialed in.
Yeah, but it's like it never ends. So, like, you think you could add so many things and you're just constantly just like waiting 30 or 40 minutes, like, you know, just trying to, you know, do 20 or 30 of them. And then you're like waiting, and then sometimes it just like goes to 5 or 7 hours just to get like a good minute, because like some of the, like, you know, you have to be very careful, like each animation is like different. So I don't know. It's a different field now. Like I'm glad like I have like 40 minutes of it though. Like, so it's like now
that's
I'm
pretty
like
good, right? I'm gonna have to check that out. Can you post the link in the private chat or in the main chat? So
yeah, you guys
go subscribe to
everybody got to check out Aiden Orfield. Aiden Orfield.
AI Dan.
It's basically like AI Dan, do anything now, or Field, right? Aiden Orfield.
AI Dan. Oh, look at you teaching us memory methods, techniques here.
AI Dan or Field.
Now I'll be able to find it forever and ever.
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
It's in my memory palace.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which is got a star for it on the top of it now. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
I got a yeah.
Like everything I do though is very like edgy, like
so edgy,
like Charles Manson.
Well, I've seen. we saw a little taste.
Yeah,
I feel like for most people, even though I wear pink, I'm kind of edgy too.
Yeah.
James Dean holding a gun was even edgy. Like that wasn't like from, you know, Rebel Without a Cause. That was a Switchblade.
What about we'll
so
close on
like,
the new
whoa,
reel.
He's got a rifle.
We'll do the new reel song.
That was crazy to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Watch real science, gonna watch real science, gonna watch real science and think about my life.
Weird movie that it's kind of like the best B movies. It's
gonna watch real science, gonna watch real science, gonna watch
real
science.
Dark Angel, Dolph Lundgren.
I love this song.
Dark Angel, he's telling us a movie to watch.
Gonna watch real signs.
Do you come here often? I say, did you come here often? Do you come here often?
First time. My first time.